Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the campus of Kansas City, Kansas Community College, where they will host the Cowley Tigers from the Cowley County Community College. Cowley County brings their 18-2 conference record into the Blue Devils today. They'll do a two-game series today and then doubleheader on Saturday to complete the four-game series. Cowley in first place, Johnson County in second place with a 16-4 record, and the Blue Devils with the 19-5 record. As we get ready to go here in the first game, the first game is a scheduled 7-inning game. The second game is a scheduled 9-inning game. Again, welcome. A cool day, a little bit of overcast, wind blowing lightly out of the northwest. So as we get ready to go, we will have the two games. Milligan, Brothers, and Dunn scheduled up to face Orlando Ortiz. Ortiz on the mound for the Blue Devils today. And it's game time. Here we go. Here comes the first pitch outside, ball one. Ortiz has a 3.47 ERA. There's a little bit low, ball 2-2-0 the count. Cody Milligan, he's the catcher, number 7. Takes a strike inside part of the plate at the knees. Milligan's average starting the day is .429. He's got 57 hits in 133 at-bats, and there's a foul ball, and the bat makes it all the way down to Eric Hinostroza at first. So 2-2 the count on Cody Milligan. Santiago at third, Bednar at second, at short, Harder at second, Hinostroza at first, Henry in left, Acosta in center, and in right field is Matt Schrick. There's a swing and a miss outside part of the zone for the first out of the inning. So Milligan down on strikes. That's going to bring up Blaze Brothers, the left fielder. Brothers starts the day batting .343. He'll step in on the right-handed side to face the right-handed pitching Ortiz. So early going here, top of the first, one out. Here comes the first pitch to Brothers. There's a foul ball back to the screen. Want to welcome those of you that are watching and or listening today. Here comes the 0-1, low and outside, ball one. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the first to the left fielder, Blaze Brothers. Comes the 1-1. Ground ball to the third baseman, Santiago, over to first. It's going to be a throwing error on Santiago. And over to second base is Brothers. So 1 out and a runner at second base for Parker Dunn. Parker Dunn, the number 3 hitter for the Tigers. He's the right fielder. He starts the day batting .390, .390. He'll be up there on the left-handed side facing Ortiz. Santiago in on the edge of the grass. Going to back away a little bit now. 1 out runner at second for Dunn. Swing and a miss. 0-1 the count. Dunn with 41 hits in a 105 at-bats. Comes the 0-1 from Ortiz. Swing and a miss. So down in the count, 0-2 is Parker Dunn, the right fielder for the Cowley County Tigers. Comes the 0-2 pitch. That's going to be a wild pitch, and back to the screen. Runner moves to third. So Brothers over to third base. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dunn. Comes the 1-2. Inside again, so 2 balls and 2 strikes and an out. The number 3 hitter, Parker Dunn, up there. The shortstop, Steenstra, in the on-deck circle. Here comes the 2-2. There's a high chopper headed to second baseman. Harder has that, and over to Hinestrosa for the out, but an RBI ground out for Dunn. It's going to bring up Logan Steenstra. He's the number 4 hitter. He starts the day batting .348. First pitch to him is high for ball 1. He's got 39 hits in 112 at-bats. Here comes the 1-0. Catches the inside corner at the knees. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 run in on that ground ball to the right side for the Tigers. There's a foul ball back to the screen. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on Steenstra. Little bit low, ball 2. Hand outside and low. So 3-2 the count on Steenstra. Comes the 3-2. Ground ball headed up the middle. Up and over to first base is that from Bednar. So 1 run in. We'll take a break. We'll be back. All right, here we go to the bottom half of the first inning. The Tigers of Cowley County plate 1 run. In the top half, Andrew Roach will be on the mound. He has a 3.52 ERA. 4 wins, 2 losses. Acosta, Hinestrosa, and Santiago Scheduled up for the Blue Devils. Acosta starts the day batting .351. He'll step in to face the right-hander from Cowley. Strike outside corner at the knees. 0-1 the count. Eduardo Acosta. Comes the 0-1. Just misses a little bit outside. 1 ball and a strike. Comes the pitch from Roach. A little bit low, ball 2. Costa has 47 hits in 134 at bats. Here comes the 2-1. The fly ball to center field. Center fielder Halstead takes care of that for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Hinestroza. Hinestroza, the first baseman, starts the day batting .365. He'll step in on the left-handed side. A little bit low, ball 1. Eric has 54 hits in 148 at bats. Comes the 1-0. Line drive down the right field line. Plenty of distance, but wide of the foul pole. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out here in the first. Comes the 1-1. Just misses outside. 2 balls and a strike as Hinestroza bats here with 1 out. Nobody on in the bottom half of the first. Blue Devils trail by 1. There's a ground ball headed at the shortstop. He's up with it and over to first. So Steenstra over to DeSimone for the second out of the inning. Excuse me, that's going to bring up Santiago, Kevin Santiago. He starts the day batting .351. He'll be up there with 2 outs and nobody on. Strike 1 right through there. Strike 1 called. Santiago has 43 hits on 130 at bats. There's a foul ball back to the screen. So 0-2 the count on the third baseman, Kevin Santiago. Comes the 0-2 from Roach, a little bit high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Comes the wind and the 1-2. Swing and a miss of that high fastball for the third out. At the end of 1, Blue Devils trail 1-0. We'll be back. Here we go to the top of the second inning. Stevens, DeSimone, and Sater scheduled up for the Tigers. Left-handed hitter is Cade Stevens. He's the designated hitter. Ortiz back for his second inning of work. First pitch, strike at the waist, catches the outside corner. Stevens starts the day batting .301. 0-1 the count on him. There's a fly ball to center field. Acosta underneath that and makes the play for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up DeSimone. DeSimone starts the day batting .336. He's the first baseman. He steps in on the right-handed side. One down, top of the second inning. There's a foul ball. DeSimone has 45 hits and 134 at-bats. There's a strike outside part of the plate. So quickly on to the count on DeSimone, the first baseman. It's going to be strike three called for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up Carson Sater, the second baseman. Sater bats .288. He only has 52 at-bats on the year with 15 hits. Going to have a timeout. Not sure if JT Goodfellow, I didn't even mention him when I gave the starting fielders. JT Goodfellow, the catcher, either got something going on with his glove or he didn't take off his mask, so I don't think it was black specks in his eye from the turf. So two down. Sater steps in, the second baseman. That misses inside, ball one. One and 0 the count. It's going to be a strike at the waist on the outside corner, so 1 ball and 1 strike to the number 7 hitter, Sater. There's a ground ball wide of first base. So 1 and 2 the count on the left-handed hitting Sater. Comes the wind in the 1-2 from Ortiz. The long fly ball foul down the right field line. Comes the 1-2, foul backing out of play, so we'll do the 1-2 again. Comes the 1-2. Foul over into the dugout. Blue Devils dugout on the third base side. 2 down. Here in the top of the second inning, the Tigers of Cowley County batting with a 1-run lead. Outside ball 2, so 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the second. Comes the 2-2. Blocked nicely by Goodfellow. 3-2 the count. Swing and a miss. So at the end of 1.5, Blue Devils down 1-0. Bottom of the second inning we go. Sosa, Henry, and Bednar scheduled up for the Blue Devils. Jose Sosa, the designated hitter. Sosa starts the day batting .340. He's got 47 hits at 134 at-bats. He'll step in to face Roach here in the bottom of the second. Strike just catches the inside corner. 0-1 the count as Sosa leads off the bottom of the second for the Blue Devils. There's a hit going to the wall, to the left field wall. So a lead-off double for Sosa. The Blue Devils have got something going here in the second. It's going to bring up Tyler Henry. Tyler Henry's the left fielder. Henry starts the day batting .358. He's got 44 hits at 123 at-bats. He leads the league in triples with 6. There's a swing and a miss of that first pitch outside part of the plate. 0-1 the count. Sosa at second base. Comes the stretch and the 0-1 from Roach. Outside, nicely blocked by the catcher Milligan. One ball, one strike, one on for the Blue Devils here in the bottom of the second. They trail by 1. Outside in the dirt. So 2 balls and a strike on Tyler Henry, the left fielder. He bats on the right-handed side, facing the right-handed throwing Roach for the Tigers. Comes the stretch and the 2-1. There's a ball hit into right field. Going to send Sosa home. Then he decides to hold him up. Now he heads, and he is going to be out at home. So as he came around the corner, coach was going to shut him down, and then he decided to go again and is out at home. So Henry with the base hit to right field. Sosa is thrown out at home for the first out of the inning. Going to have a visit to the mound. We'll keep it right here. So Jose Sosa leads off with a double to the wall in left field. Then on the base hit to right field as he comes around, coach shuts him down and he decides to go ahead and go and is out at home for the first out. So that's going to bring up Kemper Bednar. Bednar's going to step in with 1 out and a runner at first base in Henry. Bednar starts the day batting .389. He has 42 hits at 108 at-bats. He'll step in with 1 out and 1 on. And 1 out. Squares to bunt. That's going to roll foul. So 0-1 the count on Kemper Bednar. So back-to-back hits, a double and a single, and all we get out of that is an out. Bednar, the shortstop, he bats right-handed. He steps back in with the 0-1 count to face Andrew Roach. It's a high fly ball over here along the first baseline. That's going to get out of play, so 0-2 the count on Bednar. comes the pitch outside. Henry at first, 1 out, bottom of the second. Blue Devils trail by 1. Cowley with a run in the first inning. That base runner reached on an error. Here comes the 1-2. Pitching out. Nothing going. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bednar. Specht at third. Steenstra at short. Sater at second. DeSimone at first. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss. So Bednar a strikeout victim. That's going to bring up Goodfellow, the catcher. Goodfellow starts the day batting .292. He has 21 hits at 72 at bats. Across the outfield, brothers in left field, center fielder Halstead, and in right is Dunn. Behind the plate is Milligan, and on the mound is Roach. 2 outs now to Goodfellow, the catcher. He steps in on the right-handed side. Outside, ball 1. Sun trying to peek out just a little bit here now. The little bit of a breeze straight out of the north. Here comes the 2-0. There's a ball headed for the right field gap, and Halstead comes in, makes a nice sliding catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So we'll go to the 3rd. Blue Devils trail by 1. Top of the 3rd. Ortiz back for his 3rd inning of work. Scheduled to face Specht, Halstead, and then back to the top of the order with Milligan. Specht, another left-handed hitter. He's the 3rd baseman. He starts the day batting .301. He's got 25 hits on 83 at-bats. First pitch is a strike called. 0-1 to Specht. Little bit low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike as George Specht leads off the top of the 3rd for the Cowley Tigers. Ball's a little bit high, 2-1 the count. Cowley County Tigers in first place in the conference. In 3rd place are your Blue Devils. 2 games today and 2 games on Saturday. Here comes the 2-1. Right at the waist outside part of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the 3rd baseman, Specht. Foul ball back and over the screen. So we'll do the 2-2 again. Comes the wind in the 2-2 by Ortiz. Fly ball over toward the left field side. and is a catch. I thought it was going to get out of play, so a catch for the second out of the inning. Excuse me, the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Tyler Halstead, the center fielder. He takes high, ball one. Halstead batting .280 on the year. He's got 28 hits and 100 appearances at the plate. That just misses, so 2-0 the count to Tyler Halstead, the center fielder. There's a strike at the knees outside part of the plate. 2 balls and a strike to Halstead. That's high for ball 3. Ortiz, 6 wins and 1 loss on the year on the mound for him. Comes the 3-1. There's a foul ball over the third base dugout. Ortiz with 49 innings pitched. Just misses a little bit inside for ball 4. So a 1-out walk to Halstead. Back to the top of the order, Cody Milligan. He'll step in with 1 out and a runner at first. Cody is from Binger, Oklahoma. Runner goes. And a stolen base for Halstead. First pitch was a ball, so 1-0 the count on Milligan. He struck out his first time up. He'll be up there with 1 out and Halstead at second base. Comes the 1-0. There's a ball headed into the left field corner. That's going to be an RBI base hit for Milligan. So an RBI hit for Milligan puts Cowley up 2-0. It's going to bring up Blaze Brothers. He's from Springdale, Arkansas. He reached on an air and scored his first time up. Nicely blocked by Goodfellow. 1-0 the count to Blaze Brothers, the left fielder. It's the stretch in the pitch by Ortiz. It's going to be a wild pitch. Gets past in the dirt and back to the screen. So Milligan ends up at third. 1 out, 2-0 the count on the left fielder, Blaze Brothers. Strike called, top part of the zone, 2-1 the count. Swing and a miss, so 2-2. 2-2 the count, 1 out, runner at third. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and an out. 1 run in to make a total of 2 for Cowley County Tigers. Swing and a miss for the strikeout on Brothers. It's going to bring up Parker Dunn, the right fielder. He's from Owasso, Oklahoma. He grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. Strike, catches the outside corner at the waist. It's a ground ball foul down the first baseline. On to the count. There's a swing and a miss, so 5 strikeouts for Ortiz. At the end of 2.5, the Blue Devils trail 2-0. We'll be back. Here we go to the bottom half of the third. Strike just catches the inside corner on Matt Schrick. Matt starts the day batting 190. The fly ball over to the right field side. Outgoing is the second baseman. And with a little bit of white showing, he brings that one in for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Trace Harder. Harder starts the day batting .333. He'll step in with 1 out. Ball misses outside. 1-0 the count. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. To the number 9 hitter, the second baseman, Trace Harder. Just a little bit low, 2 balls and a strike. Comes the wind in the pitch by Roach. Swing and a miss, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Comes the 2-2. Strike 3 called right down the middle at the knees. So back to the top of the order we go. Acosta, he flew out to center field his first time up. Costa is from San German, Puerto Rico. It's a high fly ball to right field. The right fielder waiting for that to come down. The right fielder Dunn takes care of it for the third out. So at the end of 3, Blue Devils trail 2-0. Top of 4, Blue Devils trail the Tigers of Cowley County 2-0. Logan Steenstra, the shortstop, he will be up. Steffens and DeSimone scheduled up. Logan Steenstra is from Liberty, Missouri. He grounded out to the shortstop his first time up. Strike outside part of the plate, strike called. The ground ball headed up the middle. Up with it is Bednar and over to Hinestroza for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Cade Stevens or Steffens. He's the designated hitter. He flew out to center field his first time up. He is from Blanchard, Oklahoma. He takes strike 1. Comes the 0-1 from Ortiz. It's a ground ball headed to Hinestroza. Waits for a good hop. Starts to toss it to Ortiz and then just steps on the plate, the bag, for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up Daniel DeSimone, the first baseman. He was called out on strikes his first time up. He's from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He'll be up there with 2 outs and nobody on. Outside, ball 1. 1-0 to count to the first baseman, DeSimone. Swing and a miss inside part of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike to Daniel DeSimone. Comes the wind in the 1-1. Foul ball back to the screen. Tigers with 1 in the first, 1 in the third. They lead 2-0. That just misses a little bit outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Comes the 2-2. Just misses a little bit inside. So 3-2 the count on DeSimone. Comes the 3-2. High fly ball to deep center field. Going back is Acosta, and he makes the play. So at the end of 3.5, Blue Devils down 2-0. Hinestrosa, Santiago, and Sosa scheduled up for the Blue Devils. Hinestrosa from McLouth, Kansas. There's a bunt. And he just gets him on a nice play by the third baseman, George Specht, to just get Hinestrosa. It's going to bring up Kevin Santiago. Santiago from Ayayu, Puerto Rico. He struck out his first time up. There's a strike outside corner at the knees. Comes the 0-1 from Roach in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Kevin Santiago batting here in the bottom of the 4th. Blue Devils trail 2-0. Comes the wind in the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the third baseman, Kevin Santiago. Foul ball down the right field line and out of play. So we'll do the 1-2 again. Fly ball to deep right field. The right fielder catches that right in front of the warning track. Parker Dunn for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up Jose Sosa with 2 down. The Blue Devils batting here in the bottom of the 4th. Sosa from Hialeah, Florida. He'll step in with 2 outs and nobody on. He led off the second inning with a double. There's a ground ball headed for left field, so another base hit. So back-to-back hits for Sosa. That's going to bring up Tyler Henry. Tyler Henry had a base hit to right center his first time up. Sosa was thrown out at home on that. Tyler Henry from Gardner, Kansas, takes strike 1. Throw down to first, and just back in safely is Sosa. So 1 ball and a strike to Tyler Henry. Comes the 1-1. The fly ball headed, line drive headed to the wall. It's going to be to the wall. Going to get Sosa headed for home, and Henry has his 7th triple of the year, and an RBI triple it is to cut the lead in half at 2-1. It's going to bring up Bednar. Bednar will step in with a runner at third and 2 outs. Bednar is from Shawnee, Kansas. Swing and a miss at that first pitch. So 0-1 the count on Kemper Bednar, the shortstop. Tyler Henry at third after the RBI triple. Swing and a miss. So 0-2 the count on Kemper Bednar. So Sosa with the 2-out hit, and Henry with the 2-out triple to score him. Makes it a 2-1 count. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-1 count, meaning on the scoreboard. 2 runs in for the Tigers, and that is the first run on that triple by Tyler Henry to make it 2-1. Here comes the 1-2, high and inside. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs as Bednar bats here in the bottom of the 4th. See if he can get Henry home from third to tie this thing up. Here comes the 2-2. It's a ground ball headed at the third baseman, and it's going to kick and go foul, so we'll do the 2-2 again. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at third, Bednar at the plate. Here comes the pitch from Roach. Fly ball down the right field line. That's going to get out of play. So we'll do the 2-2 again. Comes the 2-2. Fly ball headed for the right field line. That's going to be out of play. Comes the 2-2. Strike 3 called inside corner at the knees. So the Blue Devils get 1 run back there in the bottom of the 4th. At the end of 4, they trail 2-1. Top of 5. Blue Devils trail 2-1 to Cowley County Tigers. Sater, Specht, and Halstead scheduled up. Sater, the second baseman. Sater is from Olathe, Kansas. He struck out his first time up. There's a strike called outside at the waist, outside corner at the waist. Comes the wind and the 0-1. Misses down and in. So 1 ball and 1 strike to the second baseman, Sater. Comes the 1-1. Inside corner at the knees, 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Sater, the second baseman, leads off the top of the 5th for his Cowley County Tigers. They lead 2-1. The swing and a miss. So back-to-back strikeouts of Sater and the 6th strikeout for Ortiz. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Specht. Specht is from Shawnee, Kansas. He's up there with 1 out. There's a strike outside corner at the knees. Comes the 0-1. That's sprayed down the left field line and foul. Oh, and 2 the count on Specht. Just misses a little bit high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Top of the 5th inning. First game is a scheduled 7. Here comes the 1-2. Misses again in about the same spot. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Cowley with 2 runs on a hit. Blue Devils 1 run on 4 hits. They've committed 1 error. That misses just a little bit high. 3-2 the count on George Specht. Comes the 3-2 from Ortiz. Foul ball back into the screen, so we'll do the 3-2 again. Another foul back and over the screen. Strike 3 called, cuts right across the inside part of the plate. So 7 strikeouts for Ortiz. That's going to bring up Halstead. Halstead, the center fielder. He walked and stole a base his first time up and then scored a run. The run they scored in the first. He's from Riley, Kansas. There's a foul ball back to the screen. 0-1 the count on the center fielder, Halstead. Foul ball down the left field line. Oh, and 2 the count. Just misses a little bit outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ortiz to Halstead. Comes the 1-2. Strike 3 called right down the middle at the waist. At the end of 4.5, the Blue Devils trail 2-1. We'll be right back. Bottom of the fourth we go. Goodfellow, Schrick, and Harder scheduled up. Goodfellow is from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. He flew out to right center. His first time up, he takes ball 1 low. Comes the 1-0 from Roach. There's a ball headed to deep left field and foul. So 1 ball, 1 strike to JT Goodfellow, the catcher. Comes the wind and the 1-1 from Roach. High pop up right back here, going to get over the top of us. So 1-2 the count on JT Goodfellow. Comes the wind and the 1-2. High ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes as Goodfellow leads off the bottom half of the 5th inning. His Blue Devils trail 2-1 to the Tigers of Cowley County. There's a high fly ball to left field. The left fielder gauging it up and puts it away. Brothers on the catch of the fly ball to Goodfellow for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Matt Schrick. Schrick is from Atchison, Kansas. He'll be up there with 1 out and nobody on. Swinging a miss of that first pitch. He popped out down the right field line to the second baseman. A nice play by the second baseman out in right field along the line. It's a foul ball out of play down the right field line. So 0-2 the count on the right fielder, Matt Schrick. Comes the wind in the 0-2. Swing and a miss for a strikeout. Five strikeouts for Roach. That's going to bring up Harder. Harder was called out on strikes his first time up. He's from Topeka, Kansas. Takes ball 1 outside. So 1-0 the count. Harder batting here with 2 outs. Blue Devils trailing 2-1, bottom of the 5th. Strike at the waist, outside part of the plate. Comes the wind and the pitch. Foul ball into the right field dugout. Nice job by the spotters down there to let his catcher know that the ball was incoming. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Trace Harder. 2-1 lead for Cowley County. Here comes the 1-2. That's high ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. To the second baseman, Trace Harder. Comes the wind and the pitch by Roach. In the dirt. 3-2 the count on Trace Harder. That's low and outside. So a 2-out walk issued to Harder. So back to the top of the order with Acosta. He's flown out to center field and right field. He'll be up there with 2 outs and a runner at first. Costa has 9 doubles, a couple of triples, and 1 home run. Strike on the inside corner. Comes the 0-1. Foul ball, high chopper down toward third base. So 0-2 the count on Eduardo Acosta. Cowley with 1 in the first, 1 in the third for their 2. The Blue Devils scoring 1 in the fourth, and that's where we are at a 2-1 score. As the Blue Devils bat here in the bottom of the 5th of this first 7-inning scheduled game. Back over to first, back in safely is Trace Harder. Going to throw over again. Interesting to throw over there twice in a row when there's 2 outs and Acosta down in the count 0-2. Pitch out, nothing doing, throw down to first, back in safely is Acosta. Is Harder. Acosta is at the plate. Comes the 1-2. Foul ball back and out of play, so we're going to do the 1-2 count once more. Back over to first, but back in safely again is Harder. Comes the stretch and the 1-2 from Roach. Foul ball off the mask of the catcher. So Acosta with another foul ball. One and two the count, but 6 pitch at bat for Acosta. Comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. So the 6th strikeout for Roach. At the end of 5 full innings, Blue Devils trail 2-1. Back to the top of the order here in the top of the sixth for the Tigers of Cowley. So Milligan, Brothers, and Dunn scheduled up. Milligan, with his 429, is the highest batting average of the Tigers. Takes outside ball one. He has 11 doubles, 4 triples, and 5 home runs. Ball's way inside for ball two. .39 RBI on the year for Milligan.
That one.
3-0 the count. 4 straight pitches for a leadoff walk for Milligan. That's going to bring up Blaze Brothers. He reached on an error and struck out. He'll be up there with nobody out and a runner at first. Brothers with 7 doubles, 1 triple, 20 RBI on the year. Turns to bunt, pulls back, takes ball one. Comes the 1-0. Ortiz over to first, back in safely is Milligan. Blaze Brothers is the left fielder. He's up there. See if the bunt's still on. Back over to first. Nothing doing over there. Comes the 1-0. Runner goes. Strike called. Goodfellow couldn't get a handle on it. Not sure if maybe when he grabbed the ball and reached back, he didn't catch a piece of the umpire. Nonetheless, stolen base for Milligan. 1-1 the count on Blaze Brothers. Comes the 1-1. Bunt is still on. Ortiz down to Harder covering. So that moves Milligan to third base with just 1 out. So a sac bunt for Brothers. It's going to bring up Parker Dunn. Inside ball one to Dunn. Dunn has 5 doubles, 1 triple, 4 home runs, and 27 RBI on the year. He's up there with an RBI possibility here with a runner at third. 1-0 the count. Foul ball back and into the net. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on, 1 run lead for the Tigers of Cowley County over your KCK Blue Devils. We're in the 6th of the first game, which is a scheduled 7-inning game. Strike called on the outside corner at the knees, so 1 ball, 2 strikes to Parker Dunn, the right fielder. Comes the 1-2. And a swing and a miss. And thrown down to first to record the strikeout. So that's the the ninth strikeout for Ortiz, and the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up Steenstra. Steenstra, the number 4 hitter, the shortstop. He's grounded out to the shortstop 2 times his previous. He's got 6 doubles, a couple triples, and a couple home runs, 34 RBI. He takes inside ball 1. So 1-0 the count with 2 outs. Here in the top of the 6th, in the dirt, nicely blocked by Goodfellow. Comes the 2-0. Strike called at the knees outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Logan Steenstra at the plate. Comes the 2-1 in the dirt, blocked nicely by Goodfellow. So 3-1 the count on Steenstra. There's a ground ball headed to Bednar. Bednar up with it and over to Hinestroza for the 3rd out of the inning. The end of 5.5. Blue Devils trail by 1. We'll be back. So in to pitch here in the bottom of the 6th for the Tigers is Ryan Westerhoff. He is a right-handed pitcher from Edmond, Oklahoma. He's going to bring his 1.33 ERA and his 1 win and 1 loss to the mound. Hinestroza, Santiago, and Sosa scheduled up for the Blue Devils. Strike called to Hinestroza. Hinestroza with 9 doubles, 3 triples, a home run, and 20 RBI. There's a foul ball over toward the first base dugout, so quickly down in the count is Hinestroza with Ryan Westerhoff, right-handed pitcher in relief for Cowley. There's a ground ball right back to the pitcher, He's up with it and over to first for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Santiago. Santiago has 11 doubles, a triple, and 5 home runs with 24 RBI. He'll be up there with 1 out, nobody on. Takes high ball 1. Comes the 1-0. Ground ball to the shortstop. Shortstop over to first base. So Steenstra to DeSimone for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up Sosa. He'll be up there with 2 outs. Nobody on. Sosa has 15 doubles, couple triples, and 4 home runs with 32 RBI. There's a swing and a miss of that first pitch. So a couple of ground outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Sosa down in the count 0-1. Takes the inside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jose Sosa, the designated hitter. Low and outside. So 2-1. The 1 run that we have was after 2 outs. See if we can't get something go here and get this thing tied up with 2 outs. Here comes the pitch way outside and back to the screen. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs to Jose Sosa. Outside. So he works a walk. Going to have a pinch runner. Michael Edgar from Lee's Summit, Missouri, is going to run for Sosa. It's going to bring up Tyler Henry. Henry's got 11 doubles, 6 triples, and 5 home runs, 34 RBI. Strike. Breaking ball just catches the outside corner. Last time up, Henry had a triple to get our 1 run in. See if he can keep things going here. He's has a single and a triple so far today. Comes the 0-1. Strike called. 0-2 the count on Henry. Westerhoff's stretch and pitch. Outside swinging on that pitch for the 3rd out of the inning. So we go to the 7th. Blue Devils trail by 1. Top of 7. Blue Devils trail by 1, 2-1. Steffens, DeSimone, and Sater scheduled up. Strike called on the outside corner. Foul ball down the left field line. One ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball hit it up the middle. Bednar's got it. Over to first for the out. It's going to bring up Daniel DeSimone. He's been called out on strikes and flew out to the warning track in dead center. Inside, ball 1. Ortiz back for his 7th inning of work. That's high and outside, ball 2. 2-0 to DeSimone. Ground ball to Bednar. He's got it, a long throw and the pick of the and scoop by Hinestrosa for the second out of the inning. So a nice play to go to his right, get that ball in a long throw, and then a nice scoop by Hinestrosa. That's going to bring up Carson Sater. He struck out twice, actually. Going to have a pinch hitter for Cowley, Tristan Diaz. Fouls that one away. Tristan Diaz to pinch hit for Sater. Foul ball, then a strike called. So 0-2 the count on Diaz. Comes the 0-2. And that just nixing. Nothing you hate any more than to get a 2-strike count and then hit a batter. So Diaz on with 2 outs. It's going to bring up Speck. Speck has popped out in foul territory and called out on strikes so far today. Ball gets away just a little bit from Goodfellow, and the runner moves up to second. Speck at the plate. Diaz, the pinch hitter, gets hit by a pitch. He moves to second. Comes the 1-0 to the batter, and that's low and inside. The batter, Speck, the third baseman. Goodfellow going to go out and have a quick visit at the mound. Two and 0 the count, 2 outs, runner at second base. Cowley with a 2-1 lead here as they bat in the top of the 7th. Runner in scoring position is Diaz. Comes the 2-0. Strike right through there. 2-1 the count. On Speck. Misses inside and low. So 3-1 the count on the left-handed hitting third baseman George Speck. Comes the 3-1. Just a little bit low, ball 4. That's going to bring up Tyler Halstead. Halstead has walked, stolen base, and then called out on strikes. Halstead's got 5 doubles, a couple triples, and 3 home runs. Foul ball. Owen won the count on Halstead, the center fielder. Comes the 0-1. Strike 2 called. 0-2 the count on Halstead. There's a ball headed to left field. That's going to be an RBI base hit for Halstead. Runner's going to be out at third, but the run does count. It was across before the out was made. So 1 run in makes it 3-1 at the end of 6.5. Blue Devils need 2 to tie. 3 to win. We'll be back. Bottom of 7, 7 innings scheduled game. The Tigers of Cowley County lead 3-1. Bednar, Goodfellow, and Schrick scheduled up for the Blue Devils. Goodfellow has flown out twice. Bednar has been called out on strikes and struck out swinging. He takes strike 1 called. So 0-1 the count. So Bednar due here. The shortstop, he's 0 for 2. 0-1 in the count. There's another breaking ball, just makes it back down and into the zone. So 0-2 the count quickly to Kemper Bednar. He leads off the bottom of the 7th for the Blue Devils. They need 2 to tie, 3 to win. There's a ground ball back to the pitcher. He's going to toss it over for the out. First out of the inning. It's going to bring up JT Goodfellow. He's flown out twice. Once to right center and once to left field. He'll be up there with 1 out. Comes the first pitch from Westerhoff. Strike called. Westerhoff on in relief of Roach. Roach went 5. Westerhoff came in for the 6th. Now he's trying to finish things here in the 7th. There's a foul ball back to the screen. 0-2 the count on JT Goodfellow. Foul ball back to the screen, so we'll do the 0-2 again. Timeout asked for by Goodfellow and granted. Comes the wind in the 0-2, way outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Goodfellow batting with 1 out. Blue Devils need 2 to keep this thing going. 7 innings scheduled game. First game of the doubleheader. Comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. So 2 strikeouts in his short time on the mound is Westerhoff. We're going to have a pinch hitter for the Blue Devils. Griffin Everett is going to pinch hit for Matt Schrick. Everett is from Lincoln, Nebraska. First pitch to him is a strike called inside corner at the knees. Griffin batting .297 on the year. He has 4 triples, which is 3rd in the conference. There's a swing and a miss. So all 3 batters in this inning have been down 0-2 to Westerhoff. So the Blue Devils down to their last strike for the time being. Misses just a little bit outside, so 1-2 the count on the pinch hitter, Griffin Everett. Comes the 1-2 from Westerhoff. Swing and a miss and the tag out. So the first game goes to Cowley. They win 3-1. We'll be back in about 20 to 30 minutes. Remember to go to the other link. I want to thank you for coming to 4Ts.com and listening to the broadcast. We'll be back for the 9-inning game in about 20 to 30 minutes.